Hi, thanks for coming to our latest web training session video on Good Toy Group product management. Today we're going to be looking at setting up attributes for classes, also called activities. So let's just get right into that today. We're looking at our demo website here, and we've got our classes set up as we imported. If you haven't already done so, you may want to take a look at our other YouTube videos, Good Toy Grouped Product Management and Product Management 2. And to get to that video, if you go to youtube.com/STN training, you'll be able to pull up all our featured videos right off that channel. So assuming you've seen those videos and you're comfortable editing your cart and you've got your new classes turned on and activated, we're going to step through today the process of setting up those attributes. If you go to the front end, you'll notice in the classes section, where I'm clicked at here, that the display of the classes has call for pricing. That's because the classes are uploaded without any price associated with them, a null value, and in our system that effectively tells it to display it as a call for pricing option. We're going to change that. We're also going to update the class dates and time, which are just some default values entered there, as well as store information. These are all attributes that are generating selectable options for the customer for the front end when they go to register for a class or to purchase that class item. Okay, so where do we do that? Let's log into our administrative control panel first of all, and then we'll go to the shopping cart. From there, we actually want to go to the category tree first, because there's one thing I want to set up as this. If we look at our classes category on the front end again, we'll notice that there's not really any descriptive information about the classes as a whole, so I want to add that in. So I'm just going to filter. Actually, I got my classes right here. I'll open that up. And I've got some text written up. I'll just drop that in there, and I might want to add little line after it, just kind of a break there. We'll make this our heading 1 or heading 2 probably for this site. Let's just save that. Refresh our page here. And now we've got a nice little introduction for our classes section to help consumer get a handle on what we've got going on for them. Okay, so jumping back into the products now, we'll go to the product editor. And I want to filter for the classes first of all. The easiest way, since I've got them assigned to a category, is just to start typing class in this case. And I'll see all my classes. I've got one page. Excuse me, let me show you here, one page, so everything's loaded onto one page where I can edit it all. Let's just jump right into the first item here, Summer Class Wind-Up Robot Workshop. What we're doing here today is we're editing the attributes list here. If you look at this format structure on it, basically what we've got is the name of the drop-down, in this place, class date. We've got a asterisk, which is indicative of a required field for this particular attribute. And then we've got commas separating each additional attribute. So if we look at it on the front end, we've got class date, January, February, and March. Let's take a look at that before we make any changes. So class date's the name of the drop-down, January, February, and March. You notice in these date fields, we don't have any extra commas separating, like January 01, 2012, because the way the attributes format works, that would indicate a separate value. That would say January 01 is one field and then 2012 as the next field. So we just want to leave those commas out. Okay, so our dates, we're just going to go in here and change the dates. We're going to say March 25th. March 26th, and I don't need this third date, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And let's look at what we're doing when we're getting rid of that third option. We're actually getting rid of the comma and the third drop-down variable for the first attribute. We're leaving the colon in right there. Okay, so we've got class dates March 25th, March 26th. The next thing we want to do is set the times. So on this one, we're going to say, I've actually got my class at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Let's assume you only have one class time. You may want to just delete that option from the attributes list and just list that in the description field here. So in that case, we would get rid of this class time drop menu and just put a note up here in the description that classes all run from 11 o'clock, let's say. But in this case, we do have two classes, and in this case, we also have store information, so we can edit that. So we're going to say Grand Central Mall store, and our second option is just make up a name of a store here, Westside Hills. Okay. We've made those changes there to the attribute list. The other thing we have down here is the custom attribute list, and that is just generating a field for the customer so they can put in the child's name. In most cases, we just want to leave that as supplied. We'll save this guy. So this is a Summer Wind-Up Robot Workshop. Let's go to our classes here. Select that class. Here we go. And now our class dates are edited and our times are edited to reflect the information we just entered. The last thing we want to do is change the pricing information. These classes are set up to include the wind-up robot items, so we're going to change this price to, let's just call that $19.95. All right, save that and update on the front end. And there you've had it. We've added the price, so it's no longer a call for option. Our buy button in this demo site, we have this demo version of it, but a buy button is now activated, and our options are all up to date. If there's some information that you don't want, let's take a look at getting rid of the location information as a second example. We'll go back to our summer workshop, and under attributes again, we want to get rid of all of the location information. So we don't need that closing colon. We'll just leave it at 2 p.m. Select all that and backspace on the keyboard to delete it and save. Simple as that. Refresh the home, refresh the front end. And our class times and class dates are the only information that we need on that. Hope this has been a helpful little demonstration on how to edit the attributes for classes. Thank you once again for visiting our Specialty Toys Network trainings videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to call or email us.